Hello, everyone. So, right here, it's me, David Wampamba, and I'm a co-founder and CEO at Ebersted. So, in today's, first of all, let me tell you something about this channel. What's behind this channel? Who is I mean, what company does it represent, so on and so forth. So first of all, this channel, Eberstate TV, is a YouTube channel for Eberstate. And Eberstate is a startup based in Kampala to empower self-taught developers by driving inclusivity and innovation through offering personalized learning path, curated learning path, and mentoring community and connection to decent work opportunities. So myself, I am a co-founder and CEO of Eberste, and through our mentoring community, we are going to make sure that we provide and share insightful resources about thriving in technology. So you see me quite often and other mentors and guests who will be sharing information about uh, this particular topic of thriving in tech. So what happens with the tech is that many people think it's very, very hard to get into tech. But let me tell you a short story. The short story is that when I was beginning my journey as a self-taught developer, I began it with a curiosity. I was very curious. And then what happened is that in Uganda, where I grew up, resources were very limited and I could not afford formal education. So it was hard to learn, but I relied on notes from friends. And later I started using online tutorials. As time went on, I started to build websites for local businesses. And then when I did that, uh, each project was like proving myself taught skills, you know. So this means I was teaching myself, I was learning all by me, but now I'm somewhere. And one thing that was really a big challenge was to get a job in the tech sector as a techie, yet I don't have a powerful academic background. And this can happen to anyone, all right? However, through a friend whom I used to share my knowledge, I got a job, a remote job. And I've worked with a company for some years and I've never gone to their office. Actually, this company is also based in Kampala, you know. And because of that is one of the reasons why I decided to co-found Eberstate, because I know there are many people, okay, there are many people who are struggling, who are asking themselves, how can I get into tech? How can I thrive in tech? Yet I really have limited resources. Probably you don't have a computer, maybe you don't have a smartphone, maybe you don't have a family member who has computer knowledge, maybe you took a computer course at a university and now you are at the streets looking for a job, knocking door to door, but you're not getting the job. So these are some of the things I've come to discuss about, okay? And I hope that if I share them, let me just get something over here and we see. I hope that if I share them, we shall be able to, we many of you will be encouraged and inspired to follow this path. So, uh, one of the most commonest questions that many people who want to enter technology ask themselves is, let me read it over here, that what in tech is my opinion, and what do I advise someone who wants to get into tech but they don't have gadgets? So here's the thing. I've shared a little bit of my story. And what I would say is that you may not have the gadgets, you may not have a family member, you may not have who has computer knowledge, you may not have any cheerleader. You may be young, you may not have money, but this is what I think you're gonna do. For me, I've mentioned that I read notes written by friends who attended computer classes in their schools. And when I was reading these notes, because somehow a friend of mine took me to an internet cafe one day, and I admired computers when I saw them the first time. And I started going back to the internet cafes. But then, through watching movies, I continued to admire computers. And through neighbors, some of them used to go to university when I was in high school in O level. For them, they were already going to university. I got quite, I got quite encouraged. You know, I got quite encouraged in a way that I felt like this is for me. This is what I should do. And and I wondered, how can I really build the skills? I didn't know, but by that time I did not even have the term building skills. I did not have it. I did not have that in vocabulary because English was my second language, and I was so for me, it was all about learning some skills so that I can build something. And what I wanted to build was a computer game because some neighbors used to have a PlayStation, but for me, I couldn't afford it. So I thought I would learn to build games, and this is where my research went: game development, all that. And uh, asking friends, going to the internet cafe over and over, visiting families that at the neighborhood where they had computers. I remember by that time they had some of them had computers which had which have a CRT, a CRT monitor, that big monitor, a CPU without internet. You know, so this encouraged me to look at the notes and then apply some of the things I've read in the notes on the computer. And all of a sudden, uh, when I asked one of the cafe owners that how can I build a game, a computer game or a video game, the guy was like, the people who build computer games are code computer scientists. They write code, computer languages, and those are the things they do, and then it becomes a computer game. So I was like, I should learn this, and I tried and tried and tried until when I became a computer technician, because I was seriously looking for the skills, very passionate, reading this and that, and everything that could help me, I could just go for. So was some of the things that could help me was learning about hardware. And when I learned about hardware, I I used to talk these things with friends who were not even interested in tech. We were friends playing soccer on the village together, supporting different European teams together. And all of a sudden, I shared other things that I do with them, and people were, were guiding me, were pushing me here and there, were giving me different suggestions. And somehow I landed in hardware and learned how to troubleshoot computers. I learned all the parts in the computer so I could know that if you put on a control unit, that box, and it lights green, but the computer's monitor doesn't go on, you check the cables, and still, you find out whether the cables are connected properly, and they are connected properly, but they do not have, but still the display does not come, that would definitely mean there's a problem with the RAM, or there's a problem with a processor, or something like that. I don't know if the same thing happens now in computers, but during those days, if you could hear some sound, and those sounds, they were beeping in different uh, there were different sound codes beeping in different formats and at different intervals. So it could tell you that this means a keyboard is not connected properly. It could tell you, um, it could tell you that um, uh, the RAM, you could know that the hard drive is not properly connected. And many people in my area, in my region, did not have this knowledge. So that helped me. They could bring me their computers whenever they got challenges, and I could really troubleshoot them. Until when I reached the level where I could troubleshoot laptops, tearing a laptop down completely and then putting it back to fix, sometimes to blow dust out of it, replace RAM, replace hard drives, replace laptop batteries, replace laptop screens, such things. And through that, I managed to land a job at an internet cafe. So at the internet cafes where I made a lot of research about coding, because there used to be a website, I think it was called How Stuff Works, and this website is it's where I could learn a lot of things uh, about about rockets, about coding, HTML, PHP, JavaScript, and things like that. But I also remember after my O levels, I went to a school to pursue a diploma in software development. But by the time I went there, I was 16 years of age. I had not gone to a computer school before, and they were not advising me to do programming because they thought I was young, I did not have experience, so it would be very hard for them to teaching me with the people who are from campus, as well as teaching someone who does not have a computer. You can imagine what that means. So, and I could have to walk, I think it's between 10 kilometers and 20 kilometers to that place. It was called the Mark School of Computing. So I could have to walk to go to that place, study, and then walk, come back home. And everything that we were studying at school, as they told people to go and practice at home, for me, I couldn't practice apart from maybe writing the code in the book and then get to debug by my head. I wouldn't really, in fact, even the instructors were not really interested in looking at that work you've written with a pen. So that's how things were. So this means that a person who does not have a computer can actually get into tech and thrive. What you have to do is to start. When you start, things unfold. When you don't start, things elude you. They stop in the mind. They may fill up your memory, but they may not help. So the best thing is to start. And how you're gonna start is in this age and era, I would say, look for a community in your city or in your area. Like there are some communities which are called tech communities. There are some places which are called tech hubs. Look for a tech hub in your area. If you live in Nairobi, they are there. If you live in Kampala, where I live, they are there. There is Innovation Village. There is Hive Collab. There is Outbox, Design Hub, and others that I may have forgotten. There is Ebo State. Ebo State is not a hub, but at least if you get in touch, we may find a way of helping you. So when you go to those communities, you find people who can expose ideas to you in terms of where you can go and find help, where you can go and get a computer on credit, where you can go and, or maybe they can even sell you their old computer if they want to buy a new one. So, and you buy a computer at a really subsidized price. These same people will be able to give you ideas and help you learn faster than I learn faster uh, than it took me, because for me, because I didn't know, I was just, you know, all over the place. So it took me quite a lot of time. In fact, I remember at McMain School of Computing in the diploma, we studied Java, C, C++, and Visual Basic, but none I used because none I understood, you know, uh, simply because I wasn't practicing them. And we were given only 4 hours of study in a full week. So you can imagine. And what I would think in this case is that if you find a developer, I mean a tech community, you will be able to make it. Whether you have a computer, whether you have a smartphone or not, just get there and get some friends, make some friends, ask them questions, tell them what you want to pursue, and people will be able to guide you. And the other myth, there's a myth about tech that when people are getting into tech, they are quickly advised to become coders, developers, and software engineers. But I have to confess that these are not the only fields in tech. In tech, there is writing, you know, there is video editing, there is marketing, there is designing and manufacturing, so on and so forth. There are many things, okay? Uh, there are quite a lot of things. There are things like cybersecurity. You know, there are things like, mm, okay, those are the ones I can remember. So if you get into a tech community and the people you find there are just people who are developers or coders, don't be discouraged. Just hang around and look for the community that resonates with you. It might be that you are more interested in designing. It might be that you are more interested in hardware. It might be that you are more interested in manufacturing. It might be that you are more interested in writing, audio recording, video editing, so on and so forth. All of those you can thrive. Then question number 2 is, what do you advise someone who is about to quit because they don't see the success they want, or they are afraid that AI is going to outcompete them? Yeah, the absolute answer would be everyone is afraid of AI. But also don't forget that when we were young, there was a term information technology. And a lot of people feared that their jobs were going to die, that they were going to be sacked, so on and so forth. And indeed, for some, it happened. But then there are those who embraced IT, information technology. So they went back to school and built IT skills. Some of them went back for bachelor's, others diplomas, others certifications. I remember during those days, a lot of people studied Microsoft certified solutions. Others studied ICDL and got certified in something, I think it's called International Computer Driving License. So they learned a lot of things and they were able to go to get jobs in banks, in companies, in many places. But those who are lazy never got there. So what does that mean? What that means is that you may be unable to outcompete AI, or you may be unable to succeed in the world of AI. However, I have to encourage you that AI is just a complementary, it's like a team member. You just have to embrace it. You just have to ensure that you understand how to use it. By this, I don't mean that you have to learn the complicated things of machine learning, data science. No. You may learn generative AI and learn to use all of these robust, versatile tools in AI. For example, the other day I was using a certain tool to create a video. I just gave it a prompt and it made for me a wonderful video. You may want to look at something like that. And even other things, like if you're an architecture, for example, you may look for tools that simplify your job through AI. People who are doing videos, people who are coders, people who are this and that, writers, so on and so forth, all of them can embrace AI and simplify their work. And even because if a company knows that you can do work fast, like 5 times faster than someone who is there currently, you will get the opportunity. Because companies are not going to employ AI as AI. Companies are going to employ people who can use AI. So, for example, I'm a startup founder. I may claim that with the AI, I'll do everything by myself. But it's a lie unless I don't want a startup to grow. So, I would have to hire someone to work with me, but I would prefer someone who can use AI, because that would mean that as a company, I'll invest in AI and spend slightly less money on remunerating salaries, but I'll get more done at incredible amounts of time and efficiently. So my advice is learn AI as much as you can and embrace it. It's not taking you out of the job. Even if you don't know a single line of code, start now to learn AI, to learn to use AI tools and code, because AI can write code if you didn't know. So AI is not taking people out. Even doctors are afraid of it. I remember I have some colleagues who are studying nursing, and they were like, "You programmers are the ones who develop these things." So, but I try to convince them that everything that programmers develop is here to simplify work, and so we have to embrace it. So for me, I'm like, AI is not taking away the job. It's just a complementary tool. It's something we have to work with and simplify work and regain our time. So question number 3 is, what skills would you advise a beginner to develop? A beginner developer, let me see. What skills would you advise a beginner to develop in order to prepare for a successful career? I think the first and foremost is open-mindedness. Try to be as open-minded as possible, because when you are open-minded as possible, you are open to new ideas. You learn faster and you are easy to work with. Don't be too rigid and don't try to do things on your terms alone. Try to be as flexible as possible. Of course, you have to draw boundaries so that you don't end up messing up your career or, failing it altogether. But the first thing is to be open-minded. The other thing is that just to know that once you get into technology, you have to make sure that you learn every single day. This technology is about learning, unlearning, and relearning. Those who do not learn, they literally phase out. Okay, it's good because you may phase out when you've already invested somewhere and you have source of income that comes without you having to spend, without you having to rent your brain and time to someone. But it's important to know that tech is about learning, unlearning, and relearning. Then the other thing that I would advise is um, join a mentoring community. I mean, join a tech community. You'll find mentors there, and when you join them, be resourceful. As the more resourceful you are, they will also be resourceful to you. The less resourceful you are, the less resourceful they will be to you. Try to beat your introversy, your introvert personality, by going for what matters. You know, it's okay to be an introvert. Many people don't like to go to the community because they have introvert traits. They are too afraid to open up their lips and say something. They are too afraid of being accused of something. But I tell you, no one is perfect. All we need to do is to ensure that we are accommodative and as well as being supportive. So if we are accommodative and supportive, we can pursue a lot of things. So try as much as possible to get out there. You won't learn anything if you are. You will learn, but you won't do significant things staying in your bedroom all alone learning things by yourself. You will just break your back, you become lazy, and no significancy. Of course, there are some people who thrive that way, but it doesn't work for everyone, and it might not work for the majority. So those are three currently: being open minded, willingness to learn, joining a tech community. Point number 4 is learn to document your journey. Today it's very easy. When I was learning through reading computer notes written by friends, Twitter wasn't there. If it was there, I didn't know about it. Facebook, I don't know if it was there, but there used to be things like Yahoo Messenger, which I know that most people don't know about. But I didn't know about code, and it wasn't something like where you could converse like on Twitter, where you post your whatever you think about every day, and your whatever you post get to be seen by some people who are called followers. Then you see the things that are posted by the people you follow. It wasn't like that, but now it's very easy. You can even document your journey by doing simple YouTube videos like this one. Talk to friends, share what you've learned, share what you've ask people to help you, the public, to help you simplify hard concepts. For example, I'm a person who, because I'm a self-taught, there are two concepts that I struggle with even right now: automated testing and algorithms and data structures. But I do code. However, these are things I keep asking my friends, I keep researching, so on and so forth. And I also teach other people, because you can see on the video title that Coach David, it's a title. Coach is a title given to me by my students, whom I teach in various coding programming languages. So I would suggest to you that you as well try that. You as well try as much as possible, uh, you know, to do what? You try as much as possible to document your journey. Documenting your journey is like telling people that I've started to do this, so and so. Then tomorrow you tell them, or maybe in the morning you tell them I've started to do this. Then in the afternoon you tell them whatever I'm doing, I don't understand. It's hectic for me. Maybe because I'm new, and the afternoon you can tell them I've been able to overcome the challenge I made. Maybe you started by learning touch typing. Touch typing is typing on a keyboard. Especially touch typing, I know that is a serious challenge to people in Africa who have never used a computer in their lives. So they find touch typing to be hard, but it's a skill you can build. So maybe you can say, I'm learning how to use a computer, but I cannot type a word. I cannot type a correct sentence in a few seconds. Who can help me? Who can advise you? People will tell you, go to Able State, find this platform and sign up, and then start practicing your typing skills. People will tell you go and download a software called Typing Tutor. Others will tell you go and get a website, go to a website called uh, ed Club, sign up and start typing. They will give you like modules to type, and by the time you reach the 100th module, you'll be proud of yourself. So these are things that I've recommended to some of my students, and they are really doing doing well. Uh, so you can that's it about documenting your journey. You share things that you are willing to share with the public, and especially those that are surrounded around your career. You know, because the public you are sharing with is where a mentor will come from. It's where a partner, like a working partner, will come from. It's where an employer will come from. It's where a co founder will come from. So if you don't share with the public, you are, it's like dancing in your bedroom or in your bathroom, hoping that you're gonna come to the stage and wow the audience, only to be disappointed because your dancing strokes are really poor. So try your level best to challenge yourself and go out to the public. It will teach you a lot. So those are 4 tips. Number one was to, I've forgotten. I've forgotten already. But those are 4 so far. And yeah, number one was being open-minded. Number two was willingness to learn. Number three was getting into a tech community. Number four has been documenting your journey. And number five will be, tip number five will be to not be afraid to ask for a job. Whether you have a degree or not, don't be afraid to ask for a job. Uh, Even when you don't have a computer, because who knows? For me, it took me more than five years of studying coding and everything about computers before I got my own computer. But I remember there's a friend called Moses Mutongole. He used to help me with his laptop because he wasn't a coder and most of the times he wasn't using it. Then there's a colleague of mine who gave me my, because the first computer I got as me was a desktop, and I assembled the different parts like a motherboard, a housing, a keyboard from somewhere, a CRT monitor from somewhere, you know, things like that, put them together, and then that's how I got my first computer. And then that must have been around 2011, around there. Then around after a certain period of time, a friend of mine had a small NGO, I think a small CBO, where he was helping kids around the area get access to education, kids from the vulnerable families. And they wanted to set up a computer workshop, workspace, and then with him, we exchanged my desktop with a laptop. And this laptop was broken at the laptop has an area called the hinge. The hinge connects the laptop screen to the to this to the to this area where you see where the keyboard is on the laptop. And it was broken. The laptop was too hot, but I was just desperate to have my first laptop, and I had it. But it took me like 8 years before getting my first laptop. You know, and now after all that time, people who are close to me have been able to get their first laptops at a quick time, because I know the ways. Because so as well, uh, if you as well try your level best to get out there, to join communities, and to ask, you'll be able to get whatever you want, you know, as long as you show that you are able to You need it somehow. People won't give you free things, but people will support you in many ways as long as you are open. But the more reserved you are, you may not be able to get what you want. All right, so those are like five, and then number 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 six, I would say now the other thing you have to do is to identify what you love in technology. Identify what opportunities are there in technology, and among those opportunities, identify the one that you love, that you are passionate about. And besides you loving it and being passionate about, also think about the think about the idea of how will I bring it out? Think about the idea of the impact you want to create. I've seen many people talking about love and passion, but I'll be honest with you, this might not bring food on the table, the passion and love. In fact, most times the not love is too emotional that it might uh, distract you from making logical decisions. So I usually encourage people, as when they are looking out for opportunities in these areas, uh, in technology, to look for an opportunity based on which impact they want to create. For example, I've always wanted to teach others about technology, and I have the goal of teaching 100,000 people about technology. And that's the impact, you know, and the impact I want to create 100,000 people in my lifetime, you know. If I make it, I'll be very happy. So this impact, together with my passion and the love, I'll be able to pursue the skills I want, the tools that I need, and then also be able to share. But if you do not identify the opportunities that are there in technology and do not identify what resonates with you, and you don't describe what impact you want to make, the impact could be like having a small family which is successful, which is well supported, and kids who are happy with you and their mother, or kids that are happy with you and their father. That might be your only impact that you want. So if this is the impact you want, you're gonna have to look at what tools, what responsibilities do I have to, you know, do I have to, what tools do I need? What responsibilities do I have to fulfill in order to achieve this impact? And that way, you'll be able to know that if you are going to coach others, you really have to be desperate. I mean, sorry, not desperate. You really have to be passionate. You know, you really have to be resourceful. You have to be empathetic, compassionate. You know, you have to be open-minded. You have to be ready to learn from them. Because if you are going to teach others and you are not willing to learn from them, that is that is long gone. You are not gonna succeed at all. Okay, so tip number 6 is to look at the opportunities in tech, identify the ones that resonate with you, and then boom, uh, and look at the impact that you want to create, because most times the impact we want to create uh, somehow translates into money. That's it. Because for me, I'm a person who likes to teach. But then, through teaching, I can earn money. And I would be honest, I've earned a little, some money out of this. So, but many people could fight so hard to become software developers who are employed and may end up not being employed. The funny thing about chasing things, it's like whatever you chase ends up running away. You know, those things we chase are like they enjoy the chasing game. So sometimes people say, I'm going in tech because I want a job and have the money. Now they put money at the forefront and they forget the responsibility. And this way, they make mistakes that, destroy their careers. I'm not saying that don't love the money. In fact, uh, some people say the root of all evil is lack of money. Others say the root of all evil is love for money. But I think I would also resonate to the side of the root of all evil is lack of money, because when people lack money, they do all the crazy stuff. But when people love money and do whatever is required of them rightfully, they will get the money. So, yeah, that's it. Passion, opportunities, impact that you want to achieve. Those six, I believe, will help you to build the career you want, you who is watching this video. And I'm also encouraging you that if you're not a subscriber and you are watching, please subscribe, because this channel needs to grow. Our company is a social enterprise that whichever little profit we get, we put it back in the company and we support people. You don't know how many people that in my, in my community, in my inboxes, that cannot afford to buy a smartphone, cannot afford to pay for a course at Able State. So that means they cannot even afford to pay for internet and learn. And these people, we need to put up Able State Foundation somewhere where they will be able to come, access computers, access compassionate and empathetic trainers, and learn, and build careers. So the more this channel gets subscribers, the videos get likes, the more we can convince someone who can invest or donate, you know. So if you are subscribing and liking and sharing would really help us. Thank you very much. So uh, now question number 4 is supposed to come from the comments. So I'll go to the comments and see if someone has put any comment there. Then I'll be able to. All right, I can see. Oh, nice to. This is Justin. Well, Justin, where are you from? Nice to read from you. So, Coach David, my Lord and Savior, how do I find myself a comfy desk job with a functioning AC, a break room, a work gym at a tech company? Am I? I am just getting my associates in IT. Where do I start? Wow. So you, so you want to find a comfortable desk job with a functioning AC, a break room, a work gym at a tech company. I think this used to be. I've not, because I've not been employed in such companies. Probably I may not be the proper person to advise for such a job, but I've heard that companies like Meta, the former Facebook, incorporation, you have offices like this. So if you challenge yourself, qualify for a job there, probably it's possible. And even telecom companies in different countries, I don't know which country you are from. Yeah, many of them have such, such ambiotic offices that if you get the job there, it's possible. And but like most companies have resorted to remote. So you may as well want to build a fancy home that has everything that you want, and then you get a remote job. Put a desk that you want, put a table you want, get the cameras you want, get the lighting you want, the microphones you want. Uh, you know, spare a room just for you to work from at home. Yeah, I mean, that can be marvelous as well. And here you are your own boss. You work whenever you want and you sleep wherever you want. I think that would even be better. And there are many work at home tools, like, do you really need a gym to work out? You can do calisthenics. You can do I mean, there are many, there are many physical fitness tools that you can use at home. So, for me, I'm thinking that uh, whatever you want, you can go for it. You will achieve it. Just search on the internet which companies have an office like that, and which role can they give an IT, expert, a person who has an IT associate's degree, you know, and just using ChatGPT, I think you can get some information. There are tools like u.com, which are also AI, perplexity.ai also has, uh, you know, can give you up-to-date answers. So you can just do a little bit of research depending on where you are located. I'm very sure you will identify these companies and make sure you get to know the requirements and apply. That's it. If you cannot enter into those companies, please don't let your dream die. Build that place where you can achieve everything like that. Yeah, so thank you very much for the question, Justin. I wish you good luck. And so, those are the 4 questions I was able to answer. It's almost 1 hour. And I believe that, let me hope that you've enjoyed the video. Let me hope this is my first live, and I hope I've not done really badly. I'm just excited to look at it afterwards, and let me hope it has given you something. Let's meet once again. I think next Wednesday. I was supposed to be here with a colleague, but because of where we are, like I'm based in Kampala, and my colleague who was supposed to be the host actually is based in Nairobi, but due to internet constraints, so on and so forth, he was unable. And yeah, but let's hope next time he will be available. I would love the company as well. And if I'm the one who will be here in the next session. But thank you very much for watching, for being with us, for listening, and for subscribing, and for everything. I wish you good luck in all your endeavors. Don't forget to subscribe, share the video, and like. See you soon.